She said, "I'm just going through a rough patch," but her secret staycation with him said otherwise. I stood in the doorway of our apartment, holding my phone, feeling the weight of the words she just said ringing in my ears. She just walked out the door, leaving me alone with the silence of the apartment and the growing pit in my stomach. I had always trusted her, always believed her when she said things like, "I love you," or "We're in this together." But now, I felt like I was standing in the wreckage of something I had built with my own hands, and I wasn't sure how it had all fallen apart so quickly. Her words, "rough patch," had come out so easily, like it was a normal thing. I tried to swallow the bile that was rising in my throat. "Rough patch," I whispered to myself, staring at the empty hallway where she had just disappeared. My chest tightened as I thought about the last few weeks. Things had been off. Little signs I'd ignored, small changes in her behavior that I chalked up to stress at work, or maybe just life getting in the way. But I should have known. I should have seen the signs. It wasn't just the way she pulled away from me physically, or the way she had started canceling plans, or spending more time out with friends. It wasn't even the fact that she had become emotionally distant, telling me she needed space, while still expecting me to carry on like everything was fine. No, the real kicker, the one thing that made the pieces fall into place, was the photo. I hadn't meant to snoop. Honestly, I hadn't. But when I saw the message from her best friend pop up on my phone, my heart sank. It was a group chat message. One of those harmless group messages we had all been a part of for months. But this time, I opened it without thinking, and there it was. A photo of her, my wife, grinning in a sun hat, her arms around a man I didn't recognize. And the caption, "A little getaway with him. Hashtag staycation vibes, hashtag no stress, hashtag much needed." Him. It wasn't just any friend, as she had claimed. It wasn't a random coworker or a gym buddy. The guy in the photo was someone I had never seen before, someone she had never mentioned to me. The anger and disbelief were instant. I hadn't known what to do with that information, so I shoved it to the back of my mind and waited for her to come home. But when she did, things felt different. The smile she gave me was forced, like she was hiding something behind it. Her eyes darted around as if she couldn't look at me for too long. And the way she hugged me, it felt like a stranger's touch, not the warmth I had once known. I kept asking myself if I was being paranoid. Could I have misunderstood? But everything about the situation felt wrong, and deep down I knew it. So I confronted her. "What's this?" I asked quietly, holding up the phone with the photo in front of her. Her face went pale immediately, her eyes wide. "Jake, please, it's not what you think," she stammered. But I could already see the lie in her eyes, the way she was trying to downplay it, to act like it was nothing. "Not what I think," I repeated, trying to keep my voice steady. "You told me you were just going through a rough patch. You told me you needed space. But now I see you're on a staycation with him." My voice cracked a little, and the words felt like they were choking me. "Who is he, Rachel? Who the hell is he?" She backed up a step, wringing her hands, clearly uncomfortable under my gaze. "Jake, it's not like that. Really, it's just a friend. I swear. I just needed to get away for a couple of days, to clear my head." I felt my heart drop into my stomach as the lies tumbled out of her mouth. I wanted to believe her. I wanted to so badly. But everything inside me was screaming that this wasn't the truth. I could feel my chest tightening, like someone had just reached inside and squeezed my heart. "The photo says otherwise," I said, barely able to keep the tremor out of my voice. "You're telling me that this is just a friend?" I showed her the picture again. "You never mentioned him. Ever. Not once. So don't try to tell me this is all innocent, Rachel." Her face flushed, and I saw her struggle for an answer. Then she just shook her head and let out a long breath. "I didn't mean for it to happen this way. I thought I could get some space and figure things out. But I guess I've just been feeling really lost lately, and I didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't want to hurt you." I shook my head, my anger bubbling to the surface. "You did hurt me. You are hurting me. You lied to me. You are with him, Rachel. And all I've gotten from you are excuses and broken promises." I could feel the hot tears prickling at the back of my eyes, but I fought them back. I refused to cry in front of her. I refused to let her see how much this was tearing me apart. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I didn't want to hurt you. I never meant for things to go this far. I don't know what to do anymore. I thought I could keep it together, but I don't know who I am anymore. I'm sorry. Her apology felt like sand slipping through my fingers. It was too late for apologies. She had already checked out emotionally, and now, physically, she was somewhere else. The person standing in front of me wasn't the woman I married. She wasn't the person I had trusted with my heart, with my life. And I didn't know who she was anymore. You don't get to say you're sorry, I said through gritted teeth. Not after everything. Not after the lies. You're not just feeling lost, Rachel. You're choosing him. You're choosing someone else. And I'm done pretending that this isn't happening. I turned away, my heart pounding, my head spinning. The anger, the betrayal, the hurt, it all came crashing down on me, and I couldn't keep it together any longer. I grabbed my jacket from the back of the couch and stormed out of the apartment, leaving her standing there, speechless, as the door slammed behind me. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't care. I just needed to get away. I needed air, space, something to clear my head. The city outside felt like a blur, but at least I didn't have to look at her, at the woman who had turned into a stranger. I didn't know how I was going to fix this, or if I even could. But I knew one thing for sure. There was no going back. I didn't know how to fix this. I didn't know what came next. All I knew was that everything I had thought I knew about our marriage was a lie. And now, I had to figure out how to move forward without her. Part 2. I didn't know how long I had been walking, but my feet carried me aimlessly through the city streets, taking turns I wasn't even aware of. My mind was in overdrive, replaying every moment, every little detail I had missed. Her laughter, the way she had brushed off my concerns about Mark, how she dismissed my growing unease with a simple, "You're just paranoid." How could I have been so stupid? How could I have trusted her? I had been blind. I had trusted a woman who was already halfway gone, who had already chosen someone else in her heart while I was still clinging to the idea of us. My phone buzzed, dragging me out of my thoughts. I checked the screen, seeing Rachel's name flash up with a text. Part of me wanted to ignore it. Part of me wanted to throw my phone into the street. But I couldn't help it. I opened the message. "Jake, I'm so sorry. I've been confused. I didn't mean for it to go this way. Please talk to me. Please don't shut me out." I stared at the words, feeling the sting of each one like salt on an open wound. I was supposed to care. I was supposed to want to hear her out. But all I could feel was numbness and rage. Her apology wasn't enough. It was just another excuse. And the worst part? I didn't even know if I could ever trust her again, no matter how much I wanted to believe her. I typed out a response, my hands shaking as I struggled to put my thoughts into words. "I don't know what you want from me anymore, Rachel. You've already made your choice. I'm not the one you want. I don't know if I can ever forgive you for this." I stared at the message for a long time, my thumb hovering over the send button, but I couldn't bring myself to hit it. I didn't want to keep holding on to her like this, waiting for something that was never going to come. But there was a part of me that still wanted to know. Why? Why had she chosen him? Why had she chosen to lie to me? I shoved my phone back into my pocket and kept walking, not caring where I was going. Eventually, my feet led me to a bar, one of those places I used to go to with friends after a long week of work. I needed something to take the edge off, even if just for a little while. The dark, dimly lit space felt like a temporary escape from everything. I walked in and ordered a drink, not bothering to look around for familiar faces. I didn't want to see anyone. I just wanted to forget, even if only for a few minutes. The bartender slid a glass of whiskey in front of me, and I took a long swallow, feeling the burn as it went down. It didn't help. It didn't even come close to numbing the pain, but it was something. I downed another one, then another. By the time the alcohol hit my bloodstream, I felt a little looser, a little less like I was suffocating. But the weight of what had happened was still pressing on me, relentless, like a storm cloud I couldn't outrun. I tried to focus on the random chatter of the people around me, but all I could hear was the echo of Rachel's voice in my head. "I'm just going through a rough patch." The words were a joke now, a pathetic excuse to cover up what had been going on behind my back. I could barely remember the last time we had laughed together, the last time she had looked at me like I was the only person in the room. Now, it felt like I didn't even know her anymore. I glanced down at my phone again, seeing another text from her. "Jake, I'm begging you. I can't lose you. Please, we can work through this. Just give me a chance." It took everything in me not to hurl the phone across the room. The desperation in her words felt like a knife twisting deeper into my side. She was still trying to string me along. She didn't get it. She didn't get that this wasn't something I could just forgive. This wasn't something I could just get over. I turned off my phone. For once, I didn't want to hear her voice anymore. I didn't want to be the guy who listened to the excuses and begged for a relationship that wasn't even real anymore. I needed to figure out what I was going to do with all of this, but I couldn't do it while I was still clinging to a false hope that she would come back, that we could fix this. She wasn't the person I thought she was, and I wasn't the person I thought I was either. I stayed at the bar for a couple more hours, nursing my drinks, avoiding my phone. When I finally left, the night had settled into a heavy, quiet stillness. The streets were practically empty, and the cold air hit me like a slap in the face. I pulled my jacket tighter around me, but the chill didn't touch the emptiness inside. The world around me felt distant, out of reach. I was walking through it, but I wasn't a part of it anymore. I ended up at my apartment. My own place? Our place, I guess. I wasn't sure what to call it anymore. The door opened, and I stepped inside, my footsteps echoing in the quiet hallway. It felt empty. Every corner of this apartment felt like a reminder of what I had lost. Every piece of furniture, every picture frame on the wall was a marker of a life that was no longer mine. I walked into the living room, my eyes landing on the couch where Rachel and I used to curl up together, laughing and talking for hours. It felt so far away now, like a lifetime ago. I sat down on the edge of the couch, the emptiness pressing in on me from all sides. I had no idea what to do next. There was no manual for this, no way to fix a broken heart when the person who had broken it was still standing there, trying to pull you back in. I didn't know how to let go of her. I didn't know how to let go of the person I had thought she was, the person I had spent years building a future with. But I knew one thing for sure. I couldn't keep doing this. I couldn't keep pretending that everything was fine when I had seen the truth with my own eyes. I grabbed my phone, staring at the text messages from Rachel again, my finger hovering over the screen. I wanted to respond. I wanted to say something, anything that would make her understand how much this had hurt, how much I felt betrayed. But the words felt hollow now. They felt meaningless. Instead, I set the phone down on the coffee table and stood up, walking to the kitchen. I didn't know what I was looking for. Comfort, maybe. Something to fill the space where all my thoughts had been. But nothing was going to fix this. Not the alcohol. Not the endless texts. Not even the empty promises. I took a deep breath and closed my eyes, letting the weight of everything wash over me. Tomorrow, I would have to face the fallout. I would have to figure out what the hell I was going to do with my life now. But for tonight, I just needed to sit in the silence, to let the pain of everything sink in, because deep down, I knew that was the only way I was going to start healing. And maybe, just maybe, that was the hardest part. Accepting that the person I had once loved, the woman I had built my entire future around, was already gone.